flange technique. This technique can be used to attach cardboard tube to something like a wall, just to make it stand a little bit nicer. If you want to make like an octopus or a creature out of the tube, you could do that too. So the first technique is the flange. And the only thing you have to do to this is really just take the cardboard tube, or you could use a larger paper towel tube. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take scissors and you're going to make a small snip at the bottom. You could make this larger or longer if you were trying to make a creature. And I would just go all the way around. And now if you didn't cut one too far enough, like I didn't here, you could just come back in and snip it a little bit deeper. Okay? Just be careful, because cardboard tube is not very thick cardboard. Then once you're done, what you would do is you could take some glue, and you could put some glue on the bottom, glue stick or liquid glue, whatever you have, or tape. You could ball up little pieces of tape. And then you could attach this to something else, like that. Slot technique. So to do that, I'm just going to take a strip of cardboard that I have pre-cut here. You could do this with virtually any shape. It doesn't have to be rectangular. And now what you're going to do is you're going to, this is corrugated cardboard, so this is thicker. So you have to, make sure you have a good pair of scissors and cut it maybe about halfway in. See, that's about how far I cut the cardboard. Then I'm going to take this piece here, do the same thing. Now, I'm not really trying to make anything right now, I'm just showing the technique. So you could experiment with how far you cut in. Now I'm just going to take this slot here, that cut, and try to open it up a little bit without ripping through. Open them up. And now you're going to take one slot that's open and kind of guide it. Takes a little bit of force together. It's called an L brace. So to do that, you make an L like this. And to show you what the L brace would do is if you were kind of building a wall here, then you would take the L brace and you could use that to kind of support the wall. Now, same piece here, the L brace, what I could also do is make what's called a gusset support. So this would give a lot of stability if you were building a house this way, or if you were building another sort of structure. And a simple way to do that is to create a few triangles. And then all you need to do is you would secure these like this. Take the triangle and you would glue it to the bottom, glue it to the top, glue it to the bottom, and glue it to the top, and you create a series of gussets that would then provide strength to this wall. Or if you were building a house, you could also put them in like this, and that would make the walls more stable and less likely to collapse on you. Another technique is called the tab system. Now, what you'd have to do for this is if you would make, kind of think of like a key in a keyhole. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of this and kind of make, almost looks like a little key. Kind of notch that out. And notch that out. And then I'm just going to kind of curve this off. And you notice it's just kind of like a screw head a little bit, or a key. or mushroom, whatever you'd like to call it. And then if you wanted to hold a piece, kind of like one piece of cardboard to another, to fasten it, then you would just take your scissors, carefully open them up, and I'm just going to puncture right through. Okay, just be careful you don't poke your finger. Kind of wiggle it through. Make sure you don't rip the entire piece of cardboard. And then you can kind of saw it through a little bit. And make sure it's big enough for this piece to come through, but not too big where it's going to fall through. And you just keep testing it. And then you can see it pushes right, should push right through. If it doesn't, just take it out. And now this, if you're using it, that could be used for a variety of building methods here. That is called the tab and slot. Now another technique you could use is called just tabs. Now we just did the tab and slot. I'm gonna take a piece here. And this is another good technique when attaching cardboard to itself. And then all you have to do for this is just score up a little bit or cut through. Now you're going to take these tabs that I cut, and you're going to carefully bend them up, bend one the other way. Okay, so I just flipped it over, bend one the opposite way, and then bend one the opposite way again. So for this technique, and it gives a nice secure attachment technique. You could tape these to something if you're making a wall or structure or abstract design. Now I'm going to show you a few design techniques when you're designing a house. If you want to get some sort of corrugation like this, if you want to take a piece of cardboard and you wanted to get it to bend or to be smoothly rolled, if you were taking this and turning it into a cylindrical sort of shape. So the first technique I'm going to show is the score and bend. The score is just taking the scissors, as you can see. I'm cutting through that top layer of paper. So I'm just going to score it, not all the way through. Your scissors aren't sharp like mine, might take a few. And then it should break like that. That's called scoring. You see the cardboard is still attached. Design. So now we've scored. Now you've taken a flat piece like this and you've made it more versatile. Okay. So that would also be the score and bend as well. If you wanted to take a piece of cardboard and to get it to be like a smooth bend, so you didn't see like cuts like that, then what you could do is just take a marker of some sort. And you're just going to kind of roll it, pressing the cardboard against the marker, and I'm forcing it to kind of bend the way I want it to without cutting it or scoring it. Now you can take, now you have a curved piece. You see the difference between the scored technique here, where you can see it's more angular. Here, if you're trying to create curves, you could do something like that. It looks a lot nicer, depending on what you're trying to achieve. Now we have two more techniques. I'm going to show like stacking. Stacking is a pretty easy one. So you're just taking a piece like this. I'm just going to cut the cardboard down. And you're literally just kind of stacking a smaller piece on top. Kind of like you think about you're making a pyramid. Now you take that. Let's say I want to make it a little bit smaller on top, and keep cutting smaller and smaller pieces of cardboard. So you're making almost like a pyramid. I'm gradually cutting the width and the length, and you could keep repeating this technique there until you get your desired effect. Size it up. And that's called the stacking technique. You can see all I did was stack the cardboard and gradually decrease the size as I went up. You could do that with virtually any shape. Circles as well. And then the last one you want to do is the exposed cardboard. So if we want to get that sort of neat technique, all you have to do for this is, if you notice, you can see kind of seams in the cardboard. If you score where the valleys of the cardboard are, this process is a little bit tedious, but make sure you score through the valleys, like the loops in the cardboard you can see. And then you're just going to peel off the cardboard, the top paper layer. It's kind of sandwiched in between. Alright, scissors work good. And there you go. Now you can make a nice roof and have that exposed cardboard, the corrugation of the cardboard.